Darren Waller is back in the news. As we know, last week he left his agent out of Klutch Sports, and now he's not being represented, and he's still under that grace period to where he needs to pick up an agent. But it did come out that the Raiders and Waller are looking to finalize their contract talks, and it's already an understanding to where he's going to land as far as the number. It could be around a 19 to 20 million per year contract, and it could be a 2 to 3 year extension. But we have to understand that he's getting 7 now. And we'll talk about it more in this video as well. But also, we got guys that have been cut, guys that have been placed on IR, and people that have been informed that they're actually going to make the team. And we'll talk about it all in this video, y'all. So if you can't, go make a play, hit that like button, and we're going to jump into it. So first thing right off the rip, man, I want to talk about a couple of players that were placed on IR that we kind of already knew about. One is Brandon Parker. He is being placed on IR officially, and he will be out for the rest of the season. So that right tackle position that we were so worried about, we continue to worry about. But I think Jermaine Illuminor is going to hold it down. And as well as Thayer Munford is dealing with an injury of some sorts, but it hasn't come out. He was put on AR, so he should be back, and we'll have depth there. Of course, we have Alex Leatherwood, but that's another story. Now, speaking about another guy placed on AR is Tyler Lancaster, as well as Tay Davis, the linebacker. Now, we are probably putting these guys to the side just so we could reserve them, for a lack of better words, kind of keep them on the low so we can bring them back next year, see how they develop, see how they do, so we have some young guys on the team. Now, we talked about a couple of players that have already been put on IR. We talked about some players that have been cut, but what about players that have waived? And those players are Bowers and Justin Hall, the wide receiver. So far, we have about 6 players that have been moved around, and the roster has been adjusted from 77 down to 75 out of 53 at this point. So we still need to get rid of 22 players. And it's going to be fun to watch throughout this time. But to hop into the major news, the major news so far is the fact that Luke Masterson, the middle linebacker, the green dot wearer on the defensive side of the ball, is going to be on this team. He was informed that he was going to stick around and that he has made the cut. So shout out to Luke Masterson. And I think we all kind of understood he was going to make the team. He showed out in this preseason game. He was wearing the green dot the entire time. And look, playing the Patriots, going to get that interception, making plays in the backfield is going to get you on a team. Now, there's another linebacker that I'm very interested in keeping an eye on to see if he makes this team, is Darren Butler. Darren Butler is another guy that was showing flashes, but he didn't get the opportunity to really show if he could control the defense, if he could run the defense, wear the green dot, and make those plays. Now, he did go out there a couple times, and he was in that position, but he wasn't the predominant guy that seemed like he would be right behind Perriman if Perriman were to ever go out. So I think Masterson definitely had that lock. Now, moving on to the superstar tight end that we all are trying to talk about, that we're all waiting to see, is he going to get a contract done here soon? And I think he will, because now the talk is he will be the highest paid tight end based on this new extension. Now, on per average, it will go down. As we know, last week he left and parted ways with his agency because, to my belief, I think they weren't getting the job done the way he wanted to get it done. Maybe they were pushing for more and he wasn't really worried about that. I'm not sure, but under my interpretation, that's what I think it was, because now we're hearing that he's going to get a contract done to make him the highest paid tight end per year based on this extension. Now, on average, it will probably be around 12 to 13 million. So just to put it in perspective, or just to put it out there, for example, if he gets an extension for 2 years and it's at $40 million, it's $20 million per year we're paying him. But you got to think these 2 years in contract already are only $7 million each. So then you have to nearly average that out. So in 4 years, if it's $54 million and you divide that up, it's going to come out to around $13-14 million per year, right? Now, what really matters when we look at this contract, when this contract comes out, what you guys have to pay attention to, and what I have to pay attention to as well, is the guaranteed money. Okay, if he comes in here and he gets a 2-year extension or a 3-year extension, let's say it's a 3-year extension this time, right? And he comes in and he gets about, let's say, $33 million guaranteed. So that means on that extension per year should be $11 million, at least $11 million guaranteed each of those years. Now, he's not getting anything guaranteed right now. So that's what makes it so interesting, because I'm assuming we would front load a lot of that money to where we pay him all the guaranteed money up front first within these next couple of years, and then he'll be back in the same situation that he is in now, to where he's not getting any guaranteed money on his last 2 years of the contract. Based on the way we chalk things up with Chandler Jones, Devontae Adams, how their contracts ran up, we should definitely be in a situation to where we could save money, and we could definitely write it up to where we're not paying 4 or 5 guys nearly 150 million in one single year. And that's essentially what we would be doing with a Crosby, Chandler Jones, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Derek Carr, and Darren Waller. So it's something to keep an eye out on. I think it's going to be okay, though. We're definitely going to keep Waller. I'm excited to see how this contract is written up, but I'm excited for him to be back out on the field this week so we can continue pushing and he can get that chemistry with the offense, because Adams, Waller, Renfrow, all three of them out there with Jacob Zamir White is going to be lethal. And just to let y'all know, I took Derek Carr in my fantasy, so Derek Carr better go out there, get his first year with 40 touchdowns and pass over 5,000 yards. So I need Derek Carr to go freaking off, because I chose him as my sleeper. I waited a long time to pick up a quarterback, and I used Derek Carr as my starter because I figured people were sleeping on him, and he has no excuses. So, not only because of fantasy, but I also expect us to go to AFC Championship. Let me know what you guys think about the Darren Waller contract and everything that's going on with the Raiders cuts as well down in the comments. Don't forget to make a play, hit that like button, y'all, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Check out Redemption Brand. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Until next time, ready to take.